Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our July 28th MES board meeting. And we have some things to talk about and some things that are really wonderful that we'll hear about. And so first I would say that we have a quorum of 5 as required by the statute, and we will commence. So at first we have inspiring awards, and our managing director will proceed with that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Judge Schmalkin. This morning, we don't have everybody here because 25 people would have been a little bit too much to fit into this room, but we wanted to give an Inspire Award for the initial team that went into Back River when we got ordered by MDE back in March. They started the very first week of April, and the team consisted of people from water, wastewater operations and engineering, technical environmental services groups, maintenance staff. We had safety and environmental compliance staff there. And also we wanted to recognize the help that we got from Tim Barnes in procurement and from Kayla Hammer from finance. It was a team effort. Just want to show some of the faces. This was a major undertaking for our folks. We have a lot of very small plants, and to be sent into a plant that's 160 million gallons a day was quite a task for us. But they all went in and they did a stellar job. Many of them ended up staying in a hotel. They were far away from their families for this period, but they got the plant into compliance. It is meeting its discharge permit. The maintenance and safety team also helped. Maintenance did a lot of work. They found a lot of broken equipment out there, and they worked really hard to get things running again, which again helped with compliance. And safety also located a lot of hazardous areas and got the city to start making some improvements in that area. Next one, and then the engineering and procurement and finance group here. Lot of support from headquarters as well as our engineering team, getting major contracts for repair of 2 of the primary settling tanks, and also Al Razak, who's in the upper left, our biosolids manager. They had a lot of solids at that plant, and he was instrumental in getting contracts going, working with Synagro, who is the city's contractor. He got a lot of stuff done out there. He and Heather Fritz, who is on the right there. She couldn't be here today because she is at Back River. So they really did a great job. 3 months to have the plant go from non-compliance to being in compliance was monumental. I mean, I can't say enough about these folks. They did a tremendous job.
Thank you very much. I wanted to add to that a little bit, which is, sudden things often happen. And when you have to do that, you have to get together, get a program, get to work. And we think about this often, for example, as fire departments, police, many other things, explosions, that sort of thing. But you don't think about what we did right off the bell, just like that. And I think it's a wonderful kind of thing to show and to say and talk to the people that are listening to us now, and all the people of MES and the people that you were talking about as well. So, do you have anything else, sir?
Well, I have some comments in my.
Oh, you have. Okay, we'll get to that shortly. All right. Thank you. Next thing is that the board members have been given copies of the minutes of June, and
we don't have a quorum.
Oh, that's right, we don't have them.
Actually, we do.
Do we now?
Kelly is on the line.
Oh, okay.
Good. Joanna is on.
She logged in at 9:32.
Ah.
Thank you. Thanks. I forgot that she was coming.
There she is. I can see her, but you guys can't.
Okay.
Okay. So this is, now we do have a full quorum for those things. Thank you. So as to the people who are members, are there any objections or questions or anything such as that?
And we have Director Dave.
If not, it is approved as of the, today for the June 30 meetings. All right. Yes, sir.
Sir?
Treasurer Davis on the line too. He just popped in.
Excellent.
So we got a full house now.
Good morning, everyone. So first, start off with expenses. Deputy Director Furketic and I attended MML, so we both have meals associated with the time there, all in at the per diem rate for the meal that it was. And I purchased a book to help with the implementation of the strategic plan and meshing it with the culture. It's a great book. I'm about halfway through it. And it's a great book that discusses how you match up strategy with the culture and have it be, just like in sustainability theory, have it being a recycling, a sustainability loop. So it's a great book. We will be one of my major, I'm not going to get ahead of it. So I also bought a book. That's the only point. Next slide. Continuing education. So one way I'm going to pivot is we have major clients and major relationships, client partners, state agencies in particular. And if you rank them, you'd say MDOT writ large, MDE, DNR, corrections. So their MEA is becoming a larger and larger state partner. And then the counties, the foreshore counties, and Montgomery County, Prince George's County, and Harford County. So those, as I talk about a shift in my engagement, in my management of myself, those will always remain, and you will probably see them on this sheet. Next month, you will see I haven't come up with a good term for it, but in essence, human resources partnerships or something of that sort, because I realize that getting our vacancy rate down, which you'll have an update later on in this board meeting, is the critical factor to meeting our goal, as we discussed before. It's great that we have had increases in compensation to our staff. No, you can stay there. Okay. You're like jumping around. I know. I'm moving around, but I just want to get that off because I want to just talk about how this will change. So there are still private sector entities that will talk about site visits. Now we'll go to the next one. Great site visits. We should get the board out to the Montgomery County Yard Waste Composting Facility, and some of you may have been to the Prince George's County composting, but right now all of the yard waste from the fall is composting, and it's a huge facility, and you've got the Covanta plant in the background, but the bagging operation for our leaf grow is there, and that's the team there. And it was a great visit. It was a hot day, but we walked. Mr. Ford wanted to walk, and it was a great visit to that facility. And after I put two and together, so that same day moved up to Cunningham Falls State Park. I had never been to the state park. We have a newer, I believe, 2018 membrane plant there for water treatment, and that's the whole crew from the Greenbrier section. And it was just a great visit there as well. Also looked at, we have grinders for the sewage there, but that sewage goes to Thurmont. We also have a major project along 77 there, which is going to be relining of the sewer.
It's going to be actually relocating the sewer. The sewer there, there's a lot of infiltration, and so the park is spending a lot of money in the winter when nobody is there, and Thurmont's getting all this water, and Thurmont's not crazy about it either. So. And National Park Service is involved too, because so it was a great visit. A beautiful location. Let's advertise for our parks, because everyone should take the hike up to, it's only a mile, take the hike up to Cunningham Falls. I did not hike there on a business day, but it's a beautiful plant with a beach. So. Yeah, two beaches. Well, yes, two beaches. Yeah. Next slide. And why is this here?
For your vacancies.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. So, prior to last week, the focus for attacking our vacancy was team members going out to job fairs, engaging with development offices from throughout the state, And shout out to Ms. Betleon and Ms. Cooper on the lower right, and you see some of the faces, but we've reached out and we're focusing on all of the industries that make us who we are. However, and we're stabilized, you'll see numbers where we're stabilized at 9%, but we really need to get under 5%. So there's a concept from transportation of Vision Zero. It's in other fields as well, zero waste in solid waste. And so from an engineering perspective, those are unattainable. There is no zero, right? So just from natural turnover, but it's going to be a zero vacancy focus for the next 11 months to meet our goals. And I am personally going to be engaged with those team members. I want to develop relationships personally as a professional relationship with people that are sources for our folks. So this week, 5 community colleges have been contacted, and I'm planning on scheduling meetings to visit whomever will accept me visiting with them and talking about how we can engage in their programs and how we can work on creating inflow to our positions. So and all of the managing directors, especially the operating ones, are challenged to help this in the entire front office, back office. All of us are focused on this goal. We will be best in class. What that will mean, there are macroeconomic forces at play, but we will be best in class. I guarantee it, and we will do everything we can to fill every seat that's funded. Next slide. So we have honored and will continue to honor, and we will one other addition to the honoring of all of the members that participated in this project, including the staff that are still there with the second rotation of operators, is we will add this to our history. So we have a story map of the 51 years of MES's history, worked on the first year. It really is a record of all of the incredible projects, and this project will be added to that history. We will make sure to write it up extremely well and document all the work that's been done. So within the first 90 days, the other thing to add that we haven't mentioned is not only getting the plant to be in compliance, triaging it and troubleshooting everything and getting it in compliance within 90 days. So in order for us to be at 7 to 8 weeks right now, on June 9th, when the consent order was signed, the plant was in compliance with its weekly numbers. So in addition, we wrote an assessment, and that assessment in that 90 days, the same people that we've honored were involved in developing that large assessment report. I believe that large assessment report motivated both the A&E community that's present at the facility and Baltimore City, and we all worked together to get the plant to the state that it's in and continuing improvement that we're in right now. Nevertheless, we are a billable hours organization, and it is our fiduciary responsibility to move forward with contracts and to be compensated. So I have been in discussions. The April invoice has been approved. However, we have still not received payment. We are at 60 days past due. We will be at 90 days past due in August before we have our next board meeting, and I will work with Mr. Coleman and Mr. Patel to prepare the documents for MDE to pursue repayment if we have not been paid for even the first invoice. And there are obviously 2 invoices behind that. We know the situation, but anyway. So, but on a section of the waters of the U.S. and our role in the state, it's an incredible job that was performed, and it's an honor to all of us that are engaged with MES. So throughout the organization, and that is it for my report.
I'm very pleased and very proud of what has taken place. But you all may remember that I've expressed concern about the financial arrangements since the moment that this happened.
Sir.
And I think we need to not wait any longer and get some people involved. Mr. Treasurer, this kind of falls in your bailiwick. I just think that we should put some pressure on the city of Baltimore to pay for this. When you think about what has transpired over the last 90 days. MES has done one heck of a service, and we live off the fees that we generate. And we actually took people off of current assignments and brought them there on an emergency basis. And we should be paid, and we should be paid promptly. I'm going to continue to hector everybody about this because it really makes me angry that, no good deed goes unpunished. We dropped what we did, went in there, did the right thing, and the thing is now compliant with all of its discharge standards, and waiting to get paid. So I'm going to continue to be grumpy about this until we get paid.
Sir,
There, okay.
our secretary.
There's the treasury. He has his hand up.
Treasurer.
Yeah. Derek?
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. Are they refusing to pay, or is it just a process issue? What's the story with that?
At this point, the April invoice is a process issue. All documentation that they requested has been delivered and accepted. So it is a process issue at this point. And I have been in conversation with the director of DPW to execute it. So it's a waiting game. And before Senator Neal's statement, I was waiting for the 90 days. It is in statute, the process for an emergency order and how we approach it. And 90 days is the date for action with MDE.
Okay.
So.
Maybe that's something we can look into. I'll be honest, and this is not MES's problem or fault. Slow pay by all government, including the state, is an issue. Delegate Barnes, chair of the Black Caucus, he had a bill in last session that would require prompt payments for minority businesses, for small businesses. And that bill was more or less watered down and dismissed. So government at all levels, this is a huge problem with people who provide services getting paid. I'll be happy to work with the executive director to get in touch with the city to see exactly what we can do. Hopefully we don't have to escalate it to the next level, but certainly the agency is entitled for compensation, and it's definitely it sounds like we've reached a statutory deadline. So if there's anything I can do, I would certainly help, but I guess what I'm trying to reassure you guys, I don't think it's a situation of where they're not going to pay. I just think government across all levels have gotten used to not paying promptly, and that's something we need to address.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your comments. Thank you. All right.
Judge Malkin,
I'm
Judge
sorry,
Malkin,
didn't
this is Marion. I have
Yes,
one
ma'am.
other question. This relates to the MES assessment report that was done at Back River, dated June 6th. And I commend MES for this report, but I was just curious, what general reaction or response has MES received as a result of the report? Has there been was there any pushback or any formal response back from the city?
Well, there was a transition, I'd say the first few weeks after the report was received, where there was a lot of negativity that staff faced at our weekly meeting. I've had conversations that were not the most pleasant with some folks around Baltimore City DPW, trying to not throw any names out streaming live. But that has, since that point, that's coming on 2 months ago, we have continued with the work. I think that the beauty of the report was it stimulated other work, not by the MES, to help. And it also, if you look at the dates, 3 days later, the consent order was agreed with and was moved forward. So it really met its purpose. And it also, as we move to transition, should nothing else change, we can just mark off the work that's been done to that point to make the plant more resilient, and then the remaining work can be used as okay, you need to work and get more maintenance done on the rest of these parts of the plant. But, so there was a in short, there was a transition period where it had to be digested, by Baltimore City writ large, and it has been, and everyone's moving forward. It also stimulated a lot of work at the Patapsco wastewater treatment plant as well. So
They precipitated work.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. All right, I think we will proceed now to the agency activity report, managing directors. And there they are. So take a look, everyone. And we are not going to vote on them, but want everybody to take a look at them. Give them a little time. We've got, what, about 20 of them there? Something like that. All right. Has everybody had their chance to take a look at it? Any questions? No questions? Therefore, we'll...
Oh, it's not, it has nothing to do with the items in it, it's just the work that it takes. But we'll
talk care of it. All right, then. So I think our next thing is our first report from our financial report, Mr. Patel.
Good morning. So the fiscal year 22 is over. As far as the transactions are concerned, payroll, accounts payable, all the expenses, all the revenues, all the invoices are out. So all the transactions for fiscal year 22 is over. The auditors start at the headquarters starting August 8th. We have submitted all those statements to them. They will be here at the headquarters, not every day, but occasionally for 3 weeks. And the final report, we expect that it will be issued by September 30th. As far as the financial performance is concerned, as I have indicated previously, our labor sales as compared to fiscal year 21 are lower in most of the groups except for environmental operations. The main reason being vacancies, because, we have contracts, but we cannot find skilled employees to carry out those. As Dr. Galas mentioned, we are giving we are putting full effort to hire as many employees as possible in the next couple of months. And hopefully, if the vacancy rate is lower, like the 5% or so, our labor sales will improve. But our target is to improve it by 4% at least. So, but it was low every month throughout the whole last fiscal year. Overall, the labor was about 1.4 million less. The total labor was the fiscal year 22 was 34,436,000. So, but it will improve, and hopefully, we have a goal to improve that. Next slide. This is the comparison of our fiscal year 22 budget, the actual as of June 2022, and actual as of June 2021. Since the billable labor is our main driving force. It drives our revenues, it drives our bottom line. So since the labor sales was less in fiscal year 22 compared to fiscal year 21, it was less 1.4 million. But overall, we did very well. And I'll go through some of these lines, and then, I'll tell you why we have made such a big improvement in the bottom line here. So the overhead recovery, which we recover on billable labor, was 1.3 million less in June 2022. However, the overhead expense was also $423,000 less. Now, considering the 8% inflation, and then we did $400,000 less in overhead expense, that is a big achievement for it. So even though our revenues were down, we were balancing the overhead expenses, and that's why it was down $423,000 over June 2021. When the billable labor is down, our fringe recovery is also lower. So our fringe recovery, which we charge a fixed percentage for fringe benefits to our clients, was $801,000 less. However, fringe expense was less by $669,000. Now, when you have vacancies, of course, we don't pay the salaries, we don't pay the Social Security, 401k on it, but so fringe recovery was lower, but our fringe expense was much lower also. The working capital recovery is a direct result of the billable labor, and that was lower $166,000 in fiscal year 22 as compared to fiscal year 2021. The biggest difference is in project variance. So the project variance, we had June 2021 as $729,000 negative. That was mainly because of we had a lot of labor in the service centers, but it was not generating enough revenues. We have turned around that completely in fiscal year 2022. So now we are in the positive $980,000. Well, so besides the service center and increasing the billable labor versus, revenue generating billable labor versus just billable labor, we turn around by $1.7 million. We collect used oil also from a lot of facilities, and the used oil prices were significantly higher. So as compared to fiscal year 21, we didn't have hardly any gain. In fiscal year 22, we got almost $240,000 gain in used oil. So considering those two facts, that is the biggest turnaround from $729,000 loss on a project. We turn around to $980,000 in profit. The other is the equipment fund, the interest income. The interest income didn't do as well as 21. Interest income was not that much in 21 also. But the equipment fund, the gas prices went up significantly higher, and so that didn't do that well. But, those other expenses are not that significant. We are managing very well the investments in the equipment fund, but so that even went down $109,000. So overall, our net increase in net assets, what we will call net income in the private industry, is $429,000 more than fiscal year 21, even though the billable labor is less. I think we have reached the limit where we can reduce the overhead expenses. We're gonna keep on trying it, but travel is significantly cut. The seminars and all that stuff. I think fiscal year 22 we'll see a little increase on it, but we are still managing. We always balance on the billable labor and what our overhead expenses are. Next slide, please.
Before you go to the next slide, just a couple of comments as treasurer. I've gone over these things, and our product is our service, and we get paid for it by labor. We're sort of managing our balance sheet for these incremental adjustments so that we keep the company in the black. But the really key to success is hiring those people, and I'm very glad that you're going to focus on this, and selling those services to someone. That's where the real upside for this organization is. And one of the questions, and this is sort of like, this is a an impossible question to answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway, is in an ideal world, how many people's labor could you sell with the array of potential customers that you had? In other words, we've got what, 9% vacancy. If we were able to reduce it to 3 or 4% vacancy, would those people be immediately deployed and billable? Because there's a difference.
Yeah.
Every one of these people are little revenue centers, unless you don't have work for them, in which they become overhead. And as I'm learning about this organization, that's an interesting balance to try to maintain. But if there seems to be more demand for our folks, the best way we improve our bottom line is to hire folks, put them on billable projects, and then your billable labor goes up and your balance sheet goes up, irrespective of all the other, used oil adjustments and everything else that you have. If you didn't have those, our books would look pretty bad. And I commend you for that. But we're in the business of selling our services to customers. And so we need to focus on that, because I don't think you can continue to do this forever. You got to be able to get back to your main product. And I don't see any other way out of it.
Vacancies you see, and you'll see it in detail. We don't have any vacancies of any significance in overhead positions, full overhead. All of the vacancies we're talking about are billable.
Could be immediately.
Immediately. And if we have them, we will meet our goals, which is why. Yeah.
And I was going to say, you'll also see we've added positions.
And we're adding positions, which is business growth.
Yeah. Because the business growth, that's the other thing. If you looked at your list of potential customers and somebody says, here I am, I'd like you to do the work for us, and you have the people, you immediately start billing them, and assuming you get paid for them, the organization does better. So I really think that should be our focus for the next fiscal year, to see if we can't reestablish the balance so that we really don't have to depend on what I would consider journal entries in order to keep things solvent. Enough is treasury.
Thank you. Next slide. So these are the fiscal year 22 results that we are planning to put aside, subject to the auditor's approval, because for the auditors, one of the conditions is that the fair estimate of what reserves you want to put it for the fiscal year 23 and beyond. So we're gonna present that to the auditor, but this is what we have planned. $200,000 reserve for allowance of bad debt, because we had like about $70,000 in allowance, and there is no expected bad debt at this time. But I think we had experience in the past, so I would like to bump it up to $250,000-$300,000. So we are going to ask for reserve of allowance for bad debt. I don't think auditors are gonna have any issues with that, because since our business, the total revenues is $160 million and all that, so allowance for bad debt, a significant increase in that would not be a problem. However, we do not have any expected loss in collections at this point. For last year, in fiscal year 22, we worked on it for EV charging stations. The state is going a lot of I don't know the exact percentage, but a large percentage will be electric vehicles. And right now, electric vehicles are not available. We just received one for Chevy Bolt. But we want to set up the charging stations, so in future, next year, when the more vehicles are available, we can increase that in our fleet. We have this agreement for the solar panels. and and it is providing the subsidized electric rate to us. So that was a little complication. So we have been trying to explore. We approached Exelon, Constellation, and we'll figure it out, see how we can use the solar plus use the charging station, or we're gonna go independent, get a new line, new meter from BGE, and get the charging station. We couldn't make much progress on it, so we are reserving $100,000 for that because we want to move with it and get it ready when the electric vehicles are available. We are trying to reserve the $100,000 for IT equipment. These are for small equipment, the laptops, the printers, because more and more people are working from home, and we want to provide them technology. We are keeping inventory of it, who receives it, and we will manage, we'll get all that back. But as far as the scanning, a lot of people are doing documents through the scanning and all that, and as needed, we want to provide them the printer with the scanners and the laptops. The OPEB contribution, as you are all aware, the first 6 months of fiscal year, calendar year 22, the stock market went down. PNC is managing our retirees' health insurance account as a trustee. We have a fixed rule. Depending on the number of services, the employees receive a monthly payment to reimburse for their health expenses up to a certain limit. We have a significant loss in fiscal year 22 because of the market trend. As you see, the loss of change in market value is $792,000. Of course, dividend offset that, so $626,000. We have given all this documentation to the actuarial company that we hire. Their results and their determination will come maybe sometime in September, but we are putting this $500,000 reserve. Of course, they will ask us to pay over the fiscal year 23, but we are putting this reserve, so if it comes down that, we have to make a significant contribution there, we have this money. Just for the information, even though we lost $626,000 in fiscal year 22, for last 6 years, our average return on those funds is $181,000 per year. So it's just one, and of course, fiscal year 20, because of the COVID, was a little down. But other than that, the average return is $181,000 a year.
The actuary is going to smooth those numbers because they won't set your rate based upon 1 year, good or bad. They usually smooth it over a 5-year period so that if it were 20% down, it would be smoothed over 5 years, so it would have less impact. So I wouldn't be overly concerned about that because you had the previous 5 years were good.
Yeah.
So when they get through smoothing, it's going to be a relatively small impact.
Good point. But what it is that since we have the money, we want to make that provision while the stock market is down.
Sure.
Might as well put that money in there instead of, paying over the next 2-3 years. So that's why we're making a provision for it.
No, it's a buying opportunity when the market's down. But I'm just saying that they're not going to impose an onerous contribution increase based upon one bad year in the stock market.
Definitely. Yeah, that concludes my presentation.
Any
Any questions?
Any questions? All right, we'll be talking to you again very shortly.
I'm sorry,
wait a minute.
Judge. I did have some questions. This is Marion, and I apologize. I'm going off of the financial report materials you put in our board package. I don't know if you have that readily available, Mr. Patel. On the statement of net position, which is page 5 of our board packet, in the center is a breakdown of liabilities, including current liabilities and a reference to advances from project participants. Are you saying that we advance money to your project participants? Or is that
No,
what that
those
is
are-
reflecting?
Those are the advances we receive from our project participants. So like Maryland Port Authority, they have major projects, so they give us a short-term advance, and then we spend it within 90 days because there are a lot of high-priced dredging contracts. Some of the, like the midshore, those counties has some money at deposit with us. That was a part of the bond agreement. So all those advances from project participants we are holding. Some of them are for temporary nature. Some of them are for a longer terms. But those are the advances that we are holding for our clients, and it is a rotating basis.
When you
And that
get
is our liability because we are holding that money.
When you're holding the money, then are you listing it then as an asset? Because normally when you're holding money, it would be a reserve or an escrow account. So I was just curious. So you're saying are you then listing the advances as part of your asset?
Right. It is investments too. So if you see in the investments and cash balance, that's where the money is sitting as an asset. But since we owe them sometime in future, we are showing that as a liability also.
Okay, I got it.
So we receive the
think...
money, we invest it, and then we show the liability when it is due, we'll pay. But as I say, a lot of it are just short-term turnaround. Usually when we get the advances from the MPA or other state agencies, we spend it in 90 days and then ask for another advance.
Okay, that was the only question I had. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Now, we'll hear from our human resources person, Mr. King. And, sir?
Good morning. So listed here is our vacancy, as you've heard in previous comments. We're at 9.6%. We've added a new column on the summary just to indicate those of the vacancies of those that are new positions. And you heard Dr. Glass as well as Mr. Patel talk about the different ways in which we're going to go about tackling the vacancy rate. HR is working hard. We also have a new chief in place, so you'll see more activity that's happened in the last few months, but more directed towards the effort of the agency of getting that vacancy rate down. But we're pretty flat for now. It's not much change since last month, and that's the rate.
All right. Any questions from Mr. King? All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
And now Mr. Patel is going to put on his second hat. So here you go. No extra charge.
Yeah, I was checking, how we are doing with the time because this is a bigger presentation. I'm going to give you time to read it, but so this is, we do a group update for one group within MES. This month, it is the finance group update. So here is the organizational chart. I am a managing director of finance, and then we have various sections within the finance department. So Stephanie Acosta manages the accounts payable and payroll, and she has 4 employees working under her. Maria Bowman manages our banking and the audit and the financial statements. What you see, a lot of this package is prepared by Maria, of course, help from the finance staff. And Kayla Hammer has a staff of 4. We're going to go into the detail of each of these employees in the next few slides. She has a staff of 4, and she does billing, and she has budgets. And she is one of the main person controlling these overhead budgets. She runs the report every month and give it to Deputy and Dr. Glass. And Harry Berman and Don Giddings are doing the fleet. So this is them. So as I mentioned, Stephanie Acosta, she manages payroll and accounts payable. That was my job when I was hired 30 years ago. I started with managing payroll and accounts payable, but now this is all part of finance. So Stephanie Acosta, as I said, that Tara is a payroll specialist. She assists Stephanie in the payroll, and the accounts payable has 3 employees. Payroll manages the payroll system, taxes, biweekly check runs, garnishments, etc. They manage payroll for over 700 employees, issue over 27,000 paychecks. It's not paychecks. Majority of our auto deposits, but it is the 27,000 we process every year. Manage over 100 employee cardholders count. So we have MES corporate cards, over 100 employees has that, and we manage it very closely. You know, we verify receipts, and every expense is thoroughly monitored. So even though we have 100 employer cardholders, we don't have any like fraud or anything going on there, you know, even from external parties. Accounts payable manages supplier payment system, weekly check runs, ACH disbursement. We're trying more and more ACH disbursement to pay our suppliers. We process 23,000 invoices for over 1,400 suppliers. And we have processed over 1,000 employee expense reports. The employee expense report goes to the same scrutiny as we do for the credit card and supplier invoices. So this is what is done by payroll and accounts payable teams. Next slide, please. So Maria Bowman has one fiscal accountant, Brooke Kaplinger. That group prepares MES and mid-shore financial statements. Maria and Brooke are the point of contact for all audit inquiries. It's not just the state auditors and financial auditors, county auditors also audit us because major clients audit us. So she's a point of contact. She's managed investments for MES along with me. And sometimes we involve Harry Berman, who came from a banking industry. So we are actually, now the interest rate is going up for the Treasury almost every other week. So, you know, we are investing in that. Yeah, so we are keeping an eye on it and just investing because we have to be on the safe investment. So that's, we have limited choices. But she assists me in managing the investment, and she does the bank reconciliation, and Brooke Kaplinger is the main collection person, and Maria supervises Brooke also in collections. Christian Inyama is our support person. His main job is the mail, because it's not just a distribution of mail within the finance. We have to log every check that comes in, and it has to be independent, so Christian does that. He used to do that full-time, but now he comes 2 days, and some of the other people in finance does the logging and mail distribution the other days. He scans all the documents that is generated by finance, you know, the cash receipts, the checks received from the customers, the application of those checks, you know, the payments to the suppliers. Everything is scanned in there. Just for example, for April invoice, we provided 155 pages of backup. And, you know, then I think one of the other months was almost 300 pages of backup. So all this is scanned. Everything that happens in accounting is scanned, so we can regenerate and reproduce as necessary. Next slide, please. So Kayla Hammer has 4 employees. They are all mainly in, 3 employees are in a billing side. Katie Tashier is the fiscal accountant helping her in the budgets, the GCL capital project payments, Darlington billing and all that. So Mary Proctor is managing the wage scales. And, you know, we have wage scales for the haulers, the sales of leaf grow, all those. She generates over 5,400 invoices per year from Paradigm. So this is all coming from wage scale systems. The other employees for service billing, service to our state clients, governments and all that, we generate 7,000 invoices. So Kelly Prisco and Tasha does that. And Katie manages the GCL payment, which is done through FEMAS, the state system. And Darlington billing, we do quarterly Darlington billing for about 93 customers. And she manages fixed assets. We have 1,700 fixed assets, which are valued over 5,000. So many are MES assets, many are our clients' assets that we manage as a custodian. Next slide. So fleet management is, Harry Berman is the fleet manager and Don is assisting him. We manage over 325 vehicles across the state for all MES sites. There are a lot of those vehicles at the headquarters also, and they're used as a pool vehicle. We manage that very well because, you know, even when the gasoline prices were higher, people are working from home. Sometimes it's a shorter distance for them to go to the site instead of coming here and picking up the vehicle at the headquarters. Even considering all that, you know, we are managing fleet very well, you know, making a little bit of money on it. I think this year it was about 50,000, but that is a very tightly scheduled. All the vehicles are, we know how many miles they drove, how many were billable miles, how many were their overhead. So we are managing, Harry is managing fleet very well under the circumstances, you know, where we weren't getting new trucks under the state contract, but now, you know, it is opening up. So we just ordered another 10 that board had approved a couple of months ago. So we are replenishing the fleet with the newer vehicles. He maintains automobile repairs, maintenance, and insurance claim, considering 325 vehicles. That's a lot of work on repair and maintenance, but he is pretty well scheduled on those. And of course, he's on the accident review committee whenever a major accident needs a review. Next slide. All right, so what we did in the system improvements, so we have provided employee training sessions to, I think it was 3 or 4 training sessions we provided within a year so that employees are familiar with how to use the workday in the most efficient manner. We developed GCL report because that we procure it, we manage it, but the payments are made by the state in the state FEMA system. So we need to make sure that, you know, we capture the state accounting transactions and our accounting transaction. So we enhance that reporting. We increase the ACH payment to suppliers as much as possible. We updated the detailed report for billing documentation. As you see, this became very handy with the City of Baltimore and some of the other clients who want a very detailed, including postage, you know, how much we spend on a postage for that particular project. We updated customer payment application, and finance also does the security review in conjunction with IT to make sure that all the employees have access to the information they need, but not to the any information that they should not have it. So we review that also. And next slide. So this is our Workday. Our Workday system is our main ERP system. We have a payroll and employee self-service for time entry, direct deposits and all that, which is employee can do on their own. We have a supplier accounts where all the project managers or whoever has access, you know, they can review their supplier invoices, payments, purchase orders, contracts. We have budgets where project managers can review their budget versus actual on a live basis. It is updated live. And the employee expenses, they can enter their expenses, they can enter their credit card transactions. All this is automated in Workday, and we have provided them the security and training as needed. Next slide.
Is that working okay for you, Workday?
Yes.
My previous life, state government had some birthing pains.
Oh, yeah, we have birthing pain.
Yeah, so that's,
But this is the after picture, right? Okay.
Do a one-year training.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the key, because once people learn how to use it, then a lot of the complaints and problems disappear.
well, it is like Excel, you know, or any application where you do not know the full capabilities unless there's a need and you keep on trying. And that's what we are doing, you know, enhancing day by day. And we will make it better, but the main focus finance and everyone IT has now, provide the self-service to the employee. That was the best return on investment. So, that way you provide the training and you let them do the.
Well, it's important because your workforce is far flung. It'd be one thing if everybody was in one building, and they could walk up the stairs and say, hey, I got a problem, but your employees are all over the state, so.
Thank you. So we have some training and development. Dr. Glass has mentioned before, and we mentioned that in all teams meeting, that, we value the training for our employees. The training on the job skills through the seminars, the college education. So I put some of the statistics here. So for tuition reimbursement, fiscal year 21 was 112,000, fiscal year 22 was 82,000 less. And of course, the tuition reimbursement, we are limited to 5,250 per IRS limit. Otherwise, it becomes taxable. So if you see the Inspire Awards, that's significant. Fiscal 21 was $1,500, fiscal 22, $30,000. That is for employees' achievement. And you approve, the board, sees all those Inspire Awards. So we significantly increase the Inspire Awards there. Targeting excellence. There are a lot of actions that our employees do that are praised by our clients. They really recognize that we went out of our way to do that work. And for that, we give them or some ideas that they come up with it, which is not to the level of Inspire Awards. We are giving Targeting Excellence gift card. It started in April, and we gave 60 in fiscal year 22 itself. So, and that is a well-received program. It's like a little recognition to the employee on the spot instantly. Next. So, as Treasurer Neal asked for it, the implementation of interest fee. We are allowed to charge the interest on past due invoices. We have not been doing that, so we are now actively working on it. We already send the notices to the customers, and we're going to give them a 7 days grace period, and after that, we're going to start charging the interest. But we are working on that, so that is coming pretty soon. Continue training for users in Workday system, and as I say, we're going to be enhancing Workday, and we're going to be providing them training so they have all this information at hand. And we started just now in conjunction with communication. On the intranet, we're going to have a little tab for finance where they can go, instead of going to Workday, they can go to intranet, and then that have help guides, forms, how to do certain tasks, how to look up certain information in Workday and all that. So that will be part of that tab. So we just started like yesterday with, or day before with communications. My staff is meeting, so we're going to have that running soon. So that way.
Sounds like a good best goal for next fiscal year.
But that is what we want to do, because even myself, I use Workday on my phone, and it is not that friendly,
No,
So when you go to internet, and click on it, it is much better. So we are working on it, and we'll get that done pretty soon. Is that it for me? Good enough. Any questions? If anyone wants this presentation, because I went through so fast, Pam will be glad to provide it to you.
Well, thank you very much. In total, how many people are you working for or working with?
In the finance department, 15.
15. It's remarkable. I can't get through one. Okay, thank you, sir. Next thing we have is Ms. Crosby with the procurement, and I must say, Ms. Crosby, you have been very busy. I've taken a look at it. I'm not very good at math, but this is almost a procurement a day in terms of your working week. So let's go ahead.
Shopping spree.
All right.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I have item 1, for the beneficial reuse service for dewatered lime stabilizing biosoils for Dorsey Run A.W. wastewater treatment plant. The awarded contractor is Padland LLC. The original term of the contract was 1 year. The original amount was $104,175. We're in the second renewal of $104,175, and the total revised contract amount is $312,525, and the MBE goal on the contract is 1%.
Is there a motion on this one? Anyone
So
on board?
So moved.
Second.
Seconded. Any further discussions? All right. Calling for a vote to approve the item. All in favor, please raise your hand. State aye.
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 Right. Any opposed? Therefore, this one is approved. Thank you very much. Next.
Next is item 2 for the Back River cleaning of the high rate digesters 1 and 4. This is an emergency procurement. The awarded contractor is Central LLC. The amount of this contract is $1,285,544. There's an MVE goal of 12%.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
This is obviously for our work at, so we're just doing a procurement. I mean, this is their financial responsibility.
Right,
So, I mean, we're just doing it for them.
right.
Okay, good.
And the percentage that we got.
Yeah, I mean,
Is there a motion to approve this item?
I would move.
And I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none?
This is Marion. I have to.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Marion. I have to abstain from consideration and vote on this matter.
All right, thank you. We have that on record. And furthermore, we'll go ahead. So,
If Ms.
go
Swan
ahead.
abstains, then,
do we have enough?
you will not have enough votes.
We won't have enough. Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, we
sorry.
have to. Well, no, that's not your problem.
No.
So we're gonna have to let it go for next month?
Is there,
Can we do it in a month?
yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Conference call and,
Oh, sure.
yeah.
So to get
Why don't we
that.
do that, Mr. Chair? We
I
don't,
think-
we don't want this to wait a month.
No, I don't think so, because then we're gonna have to get together with everybody, to do it. Have someone who will be putting that together for us, or?
Ms. Fuller?
There may be some others too. I don't know.
Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
if I can interject, there will be another one that I have to abstain from. But we do have an executive board meeting scheduled for, I believe it's August 10. So I
10,
know
for-
it was really difficult to get people together. So if somehow we want to take a vote on that day, I think we would have to do it as an open meeting, but then we can close.
Yes, that's correct.
We can close out and then people can join in on the private line that I've provided. That might be a possibility.
Okay, I want to make sure that is easy to have everybody put together, and
I think everybody's RSVP to that one, so.
yeah. So we'll start off with these two matters. And of course, we've got to have 5 or more that come in with us.
And I
So,
don't know whether
Go ahead.
the approval of this contract as an emergency contract needs to be done even sooner. So if it needs to be done prior to August 10, then people will have to, or Pam will have to find a time that's convenient for everyone.
What's your call? Yeah.
No, it's, that's 2 weeks.
yeah, basically 2 weeks. Is that enough?
We'll investigate. And if
Call
it
us.
is,
All right.
it is, we'll,
Yeah,
Mrs. Leach and Mrs. Fuller will coordinate.
yeah. Okay, so we could if we have enough people, which I think will be the case, 5, then we could
Uh-huh.
work that out. That should take a fairly short period of time and then move
Yeah.
on into closed. Yeah. That sounds like, unless there's some immediate problem, we'll go through on the 10th rather. And we start that at 4
And that
o'clock.
was, yeah, 4 o'clock, yes.
4 o'clock, yeah.
We have to have an additional person
If
other
you have
than
6
Marion.
people, yeah, because Marion's still
Because
gonna
Marion still will
abstain.
abstain. So we need, I think we need to know about our 2 vacations when they get back.
Well, are they scheduled to be at the meeting on the 10th already?
Yes,
They were.
they've all,
Yeah.
everyone's committed to attend the meeting on August 10th.
So that should work out. We'll just start
Have to start with
on that basis.
someone from MES there, I guess, and have an open.
Yeah.
And we have to post it then.
General
Yep.
committee and then a closed committee with a short period of time, I should think, unless there's some problem involved. And have you got both of them?
What's the second, Ms. Alonso?
No use doing anything with it now.
Yeah. What's the other item?
The second contract, let me see if I can find it, is, item 13 involving it's actually, it's the award to WB Waste Solutions LLC.
So, let's put that, stat now until the 10th.
We got 3 and 13. Have to be good first.
So those 2, we just and balance, the stat and bring it back. Okay? Okay, so, let's go ahead on to the very next item that we have. Should start at number 3.
Okay. Item 3 is Central Maryland Correctional Facility Labor Service. The awarded contractor is EMT Service. The original amount of the contract was $192,192. This change order is in the amount of $94,500, bringing the total revised contract amount to $286,692. CMT is an MBE, so they are self-serving or performing 7.5% of the MBE goal.
Don't have any questions on this item? Is there a motion to approve it? I'll make a motion. All right. Any other questions before we vote? All those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have a quorum, I can see that. Let's go ahead and approve, and we'll go to the next item.
Item 4, Program Project Management and Environmental Compliance Support. This is off of the AE shortlist. The awarded contractor is Barton and the Juice DPC. The amount is $425,000. The term of the contract is for 1 year, and there's no MBE participation.
Any questions on this item? All right, motion to approve?
Approve.
All right, I'll second it. Any questions? All those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye.
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 And none opposed, and therefore it is approved. Thank you. Go on to item 5, please.
Item 5 is for the water system improvement. This is off of the SBR shortlist. The awarded contract is WATEC Engineering Corporation in the amount of $416,679, and the MVE goal for this project is 29%.
All right. Any questions on this one? Hearing, any motion to approve the item?
So moved.
All right, second?
Second.
Second has been moved. Are there any further discussions before we take the vote? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye.
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 None is opposed. And none is opposed, and therefore it is approved on number 5. 6, please.
toys.
You get to try it off. Try it off. Just make sure it works when we get it.
It's
Yeah.
for the purchase of 2 John Deere, dump trucks for Hart Miller Island. For those of you who are remote, I think the, notice went out that it was a competitive sealed bid, but it is an intergovernment competitive, intergovernmental competitive cooperative purchase with Sourcewell. The estimated amount on this is $1,072,000.
That's a procurement consortium.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Any questions on this particular matter?
Move approval, Mr. Chairman.
All right. I'll second it. Any questions? All right. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that takes care of that one, and it is approved. Thank you.
Okay.
Number 8 now? No, this is going the other direction. One was going that way, this is going that way.
Okay, this is for the Paul S. Sarbanes Restoration Project at Poplar Island for the purchase of 2 John Deere equipment, dump trucks. This is also a cooperative purchase agreement with Sourcewell. The estimated value of this is $1,350,000.
Is that the same amount we had before?
No,
No.
they're different models.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Is there any question on this matter? Is there a motion to approve it?
So moved.
All right. And there's seconds. Is there anyone who has any question further on these items? Hearing none, all those who are in favor, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All in favor have done, therefore it is approved on number 7. Thank you.
Number 8. Okay. This is for the Cox Creek sediment study and conceptual engineering. This is an AE shortlist contract. The awarded contractors, Hagen and Bryant and Associates. The amount of the contract is $368,518, and the MBE gold on the contract is 58%.
All right, any questions on this? Is there a motion on it?
So moved.
I'll second.
Seconded? Second? Any other matters to be discussed on this item? And all those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, therefore it is approved. Next matter is number 9.
Item 9 is for the Paul F.
Mr. Neal, that's the one you need.
Right, there's 2. Restoration at Poplar Island. The awarded this is also a cooperative contract with Sourcewell. The awarded contractor is Carter Equipment. The amount is $304,732.02.
I'd like to borrow that in the wintertime. Okay.
Wait, getting it off Poplar Island, though.
There you go. You got your point on that. Yeah. Okay. Is there any matter to be asked?
I move approval, Mr. Chair.
All right, I'll second it. Anyone else have any questions? Hearing none, no further discussion. All those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, hearing none opposed, it is approved, and therefore on the books. Yes, ma'am.
Item 10, for the Sandy Hill Creative Disposal Project, pursuant to a consent order for compliance monitoring. The awarded contractor is Arcadis. The amount is $491,595, and the MVE gold on the project is 31%.
All right, any questions on this matter to Ms. Crosby?
I think that creative disposal has a sinister sound. Other than that.
You can work up the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve it? Is there a motion to approve it? So moved.
So moved.
Any second? You want to do the second?
Second.
Second, there you go. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
There are none approved, there are none who are not approved, therefore, this one is also approved. Number 11, ma'am.
Number 11 is for Center Hill Creative Disposal Project for compliance monitoring reporting, and the awarded contractor is SCS Engineering. The amount is $495,652, and the MVE goal is 10%.
All right, any questions for Ms. Crosby on this one? Or any other matter? All right, motion to approve. Is there a motion? I'll move it. Move it. I've moved it. Moved. Any second?
I'll second.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion on this one? If not, all those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye.
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 None is abstaining, so therefore it is moved. It is approved. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
Item 12 for the Brown Station Road Sanitary Landfill Compliance Monitoring Reporting. This is from the AE shortlist. The awarded contractor again is SCS Engineering in the amount of $499,000. The MVE goal on the project is 20%.
all right. Once again, is there any question on this? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I'll move that.
All right, and I'll second it. Any questions or other discussions on this?
Yep.
Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye.
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 It's a customer's choice.
Anyone opposed? None opposed, therefore it is approved. Number 12, thank you.
And number 13 is the one that's being held.
15 is STET, yeah, STET is the, right, Council?
Absolutely.
Small, STET. That works every time. Plus the lawyers look at it and say, what's this? Yeah. Okay.
That's not a typo.
Okay, item 14 is for the Environmental Division. This is a statewide hazardous household waste collection, transfer, and disposal service for 3 regions. The procurement method is a request for proposal. The advertising date is August 1st, 2022. The estimated amount is $3.5 million, and the MVE goal is 19.
All right, any matters to be asked on this one? All right, is there?
Wonderful program.
Yes,
Move approved.
yes, sir. All right, as motion is in, I'll second it. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None is opposed or excused, therefore it's approved. Thank you. Number 15.
Item 15 is for Montgomery County compost operation for the leaf roll bag. This is a competitively sealed bid. The advertising date is set for August 1st, 2022. The estimated amount is $1,763,000. Let me try this again. $1,763,437.50.
Must be getting towards the end there. Okay. Is there any matter on this one?
Bags. Gotta have the bags.
There you go. All right, I'll approve it, or I will add to put the motion in. And
I'll second.
anybody please second?
Second.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was back when I saw that.
All right then, we're all approved on that one. I think we have one more or two more?
Two more.
Two more, okay.
Item 16 for the Technical Environmental Service Group. It's projects for drainage repair at various locations. The awarded contractor is Allied Contractors, Inc. The term was through the original term was through December 31st, 2023. The modified term is due December 31st, 2024. The original amount was $750,000. The amount of this change order is $2 million. The revised contract amounts $2,750,000 with a 9% MBE goal for Better Business Administration.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Yes, go ahead, sir.
So this is a $2 million amendment to a $750,000 project, correct? And, but they're gonna be doing the same thing, just in more places? Is that the idea?
Yeah. It seems like every time we add money to it, something else, another emergency comes up, so we're trying to add bigger amounts so we don't have to keep smaller amounts. Right now, the biggest emergency is right there off of 100.
Yeah. I was just wondering, given the inflationary environment that we're in, did we get a good number? Because if you rebid it, you might end up being disappointed because.
Yeah.
So is this basically the same terms and conditions?
Yeah, it has to
Set
be.
it up?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's the same contract goes
All right,
through.
that's probably a good thing then. Thank you.
All right, anyone else have a question on this one? All right, any motion? Any motion is made. Again, I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye. Aye. All right, it's approved, number 16, and number 17.
Number 17. For the Technical and Environmental Service Group, this is for drainage repair at various locations. This is assisted contract with MDOT SHA. The awarded contract is Concrete General, Inc. The contract execution through December 31st, 2023. The amount is $1 million, and the MVE goal is 10%.
All right, any matters to ask on this one to Ms. Crosby? All right, hearing none, is there a motion for this? I'll move it. Any second?
Second.
Second. Been seconded. Any further matters? Before we move? All right. All those in favor, please raise your hand, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All approved.
It was a long list.
Next time, don't bring 25. Bring 24. Okay, thank you very much.
We keep getting more people and more work, like Mr. Neal
I see that.
said, we're gonna have more of these things.
Yeah.
That's a good problem to have.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right, thank you very much, Ms. Crosby. It's a lot of good work you've done. Thank you.
And the notification.
All right, and put the money on the table too. That was very good, so thank you. All right, now we have the procurement notifications, which are to be voted on, but to any questions that coming about on that? I've taken a look at it. No, I hear none on that, so therefore we'll move ahead to our team Pat Council. Coleman.
Well, as you can imagine, we've been spending a lot of time on transactional matters in our office. It's not just procurement, but a number of agreements with local governments and drafting proposals. I really don't have any updates on any litigation matters.
All right. Any questions from council, or from any questions from council? Here, you hear from him?
Based on his report, he didn't tell us much. I guess the question is that it?
I was trying to say it in a nice way, but it didn't quite work that way, you know? So, you can go have dinner. Or lunch, or whichever. Okay, well, that's about it. Unless there are any other open matters that anyone plans to put forth? I hear none anywhere. So, the next meeting in this matter will be on Thursday, the 25th of August at 9:30 a.m. And anything else before we go? Nowhere. All right. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone who has put everything together on this. It's just fantastic. So thank you very much. And we are now out of session. Thank you.
Have a good weekend.